Hi, I'm Darlene and welcome back to Super at 60. I'm so happy to have you here today in my kitchen. It's been a while, but I'm so happy to be back. I have saved a recipe for you. I've had this recipe for, oh gosh, probably about 4 or 5 years. I had an Amish mom once and she has passed away, but she left me a handful of really incredible recipes. She wanted to make sure I had them. She just had them written down on pieces of paper and she just gave them to me over the phone, and so I wrote them down in my own hand. So I wish I had her hand written notes, you know, but I don't, just my own. But anyway, she was being Amish, you know, she was very into the Amish community. She knew everyone and everyone knew her. She was unmarried, no children. I think she had just a handful of relatives left. She was in her 80s. Anyway, she made sure that I had this one particular recipe because it's kind of a secret recipe out there, but she knew the girls. She knew the girls that worked in the kitchen of the Bird in Hand Bakery. Now, if you've ever been to Lancaster, Pennsylvania, you know Bird in Hand. It's actually a town, and you know the Bird in Hand restaurant. I think there's also a hotel there, or and several off-site bakeries. Now these off-site bakeries, I believe, is where they do the actual baking, the pies, the cakes, the cookies, the whoopie pies, all the great stuff. That's where they make it, and then they bring it over to the restaurant, and then people can order off the menu if they want to have dessert. But I don't think the Bird in Hand restaurant actually does that anymore. It does any of the baking. It's these other bakeries. Well, in these other bakeries is where Annie knew some of these gals, some of these women, and they gave her the recipe for the famous Bird in Hand chocolate chip cookies. I'm telling you, these are the best chocolate chip cookies you will ever have. If you have a great chocolate chip cookie recipe, great grandma's, your mom's, your own, this will beat it. I promise this will beat it. And there is a very special ingredient in this cookie. You absolutely not going to believe it. You only use just a tiny pinch of it, but it really, the purpose of using this particular ingredient is simply to enhance. It enhances everything that is in this cookie, the dry ingredients, the wet ingredients, the sugars, the vanilla, the chips, everything. And it's not coffee. A lot of people guessed coffee, but it is not coffee. I don't think that if I offered you $1 million, I don't think you'd ever guess it. So let's get started with this cookie, and I will show you when it's time to add this is special ingredient. I will show you exactly how to do it. All right, let's start with some dry ingredients. We're going to start with 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I use an all-purpose unbleached organic flour, and I buy it at Costco. You guys probably buy that too. It's such a nice flour. It's great for baking goods, and it's really good for bread too. If you don't have bread flour, you can always use this flour. It's just fine. All right, and then I'm going to put in a little bit of cornstarch, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. Now that's not the secret ingredient. However, it really is kind of a secret ingredient all of itself. A lot of bakeries use cornstarch in their cookies. It just kind of stabilizes them, and I don't know, it gives it such a professional bakery flavor. I use cornstarch in a lot of my cookies just for that very reason. I want somebody someday to say, "Ooh, did you buy these at the bakery?" Nobody has said that yet, but hey, that's okay. All right, and now I need a ½ teaspoon of baking soda. Just all your typical cookie stuff, and a ½ teaspoon of baking powder. I like to use the aluminum free whenever I can, and actually it's very easy to find. It used to be really hard to find. I had to order it. Now it's everywhere. So if you don't want aluminum in your body, then try and find the aluminum free, and just be happier for it. All right, and then we need 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. A little salt box out here. Isn't that cute? I got that at a antique store not too long ago, and it was just in perfect condition. I just fell in love with it, and I've been using it ever since. I keep it on my counter. It's just a pretty thing to look at. And just give this a really good stir. When we get all those things mixed up in there together so you don't get a big clump of something in your mouth. Just make sure it's always, if you want to use a whisk, that's fine. You do not have to sift this. All right, let's put the sugars in. I'm going to put 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar, and you can pack it down in there. but it doesn't have to be exactly. So I'm just gonna put about that much in there. And then we need a little bit of white sugar, just kind of offset that molassesy flavor. A quarter of a cup of white sugar, so just a little bit. And this is organic white sugar. Not that it makes it any better. I mean, it's a little bit better because it's not bleached, but you know, it's still sugar. So, all right, now mix that up really well. So yes, we always start with our dry ingredients. That brown sugar is not hard, it just got a little clumpy. All right, now it's time for the special ingredient. Are you ready? You'll never believe it, not in a million years. It's 1/8 of a teaspoon, so you're using a very tiny little bit of it. Can you see what that is? Can you see it? I hope you can see it there. It's nutmeg. It's nutmeg. Okay, so this is a quarter of a teaspoon, so I'm just going to use like that much. That's all you need. I hope you can see that. That's all you need. Okay, and I'm just going to sprinkle it right in, and that is going to enhance every single bit of flavor that you just put in this bowl. And now I'm going to put in the wet ingredients, and that's just going to, that flavor enhancer, that nutmeg, is going to enhance all the flavors that I'm now going to add. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add my wet. I'm not going to add them separately. It's just, you just don't need to. I'm just going to kind of make a well in the middle here. I have some, you just need a 1/2 stick of butter. And it's very, very soft, so it's perfect. Just put it right in the middle. Okay. Always have to wipe my hands after butter and eggs. It just kind of drives me nuts. Okay, and a little bit of vanilla. This is my homemade vanilla. Look how dark and beautiful it is. Oh, and it smells so good. I'm gonna go ahead and measure this. I don't usually measure my vanilla, but I'll go ahead this time. Teaspoon and 1/2, because I want this to be just as good as it always is. Okay, there we go. And now we're going to put the eggs in, and we need 2 brown eggs. That's what I like to use. Aren't they gorgeous? Aren't they just pretty as could be? I just love them. You need a whole egg, and you need just 1 egg yolk. So I'm going to put a whole egg in. I like to check farm fresh eggs, organic eggs. I like to check them first. So there's 1 egg. And then go ahead and get rid of the white. I'll cook that up and give that to Brownie tonight. She will have such a treat. Come on, get off there. These are nice and fresh. And then 1 egg yolk, just like that. All right, and now I'm going to get my little mixer out here and just start mixing away. I'll bring you back when I'm done. All right, let me tell you what happened. I was mixing it up, and it was beautiful, becoming a very beautiful batter, but it was still kind of dry. It just wasn't coming together like a cookie dough should, a chocolate chip cookie dough. So I realized that I used organic, farm organic eggs. And when you do that, sometimes the size difference is off. So when a recipe calls, like this one, called for 1 large egg and 1 egg yolk. A large egg in the grocery store, I promise you, will weigh differently from many, many farm fresh eggs that they just take from the chickens. Sometimes they're bigger and sometimes they're smaller. I thought mine were a little bit on the small side today, but I didn't think anything of it. I thought it would work just fine. Well, after I put in 1 full egg and an egg yolk, it wasn't quite enough. It wasn't coming together the way I knew it was supposed to. So all I did, and you can do this too if this ever happens to you, I just added that egg white back in here. So essentially now there are 2 eggs. It's not going to make any difference in the flavor. It's going to be absolutely scrumptious, and I'm going to add the chocolate chips now. But if you ever find that and you're using farm fresh eggs, it does happen sometimes. So just be aware. All right, so today I'm going to use chocolate chunks because I love these. I think they just add a real richness to any recipe that you use for chocolate chips. But you can use the regular semi-sweet chocolate chips. You can use milk chocolate. Many times I have used milk chocolate in these, and they're just delicious. And you need 1.5 cups. Whoops. I'll put in a little less next time. All right, and I think what I'll do instead of mixing them up with the mixer is just use a spoon or something like this. And if your hands are clean, you know, I mean, I hate to even say that to you guys because I know you know that. But I think the hands work even better. In fact, I think I'm going to do it because my hands are clean. Just go in, squish it together. Just like that. Just making sure that you get the chips dispersed well throughout the dough so that when you go to cut out your cookies, or to scoop out your cookies, I should say, they'll all be even, have a good amount of chocolate chips in each. All right, now I'm gonna leave it in like a little mound right here for now, because the other secret in this recipe, there's really only one secret, but this is what I do with all cookies. It's really my secret, okay? It's my secret. When you make cookies, whether it's sugar cookies, chocolate chip cookies, molasses cookies, snickerdoodles, it doesn't matter. Take your dough, wrap it up, or in this case, I'm just gonna put some plastic over it and stick it in your refrigerator. It really gives, and that is another bakery tip. That's what they do. They make these great big tubs of dough early in the morning, like 4:30 in the morning they get there, and they make tubs of chocolate chip dough and sugar cookie dough and snickerdoodles and chocolate cookies. They make all that, they put the top on it, and they put it in their refrigerator, and they scoop from that dough all day long as they need fresh cookies. But the main reason they do that is so that all the flavors that are in this dough are going to marinate together. The vanilla, the butter, the nutmeg in this case, the salt, the sugars, the brown sugar, the molasses and the brown sugars, the white sugars, they all just marinate together, and your cookie will just taste so much better. This is my trick that I usually do, all that I do every Christmas. I make all my doughs on one day, I wrap them up in plastic wrap, and I stack them in my refrigerator, and I wait sometimes a week. A week is fine before I actually get to baking those cookies. But that's what I'm gonna do right now. And I'm gonna put those in the refrigerator, and I'm just gonna let them sit about 30 minutes. And when I come back, we're gonna put these cookies together, we're gonna put them in the oven, and I'm gonna show you how beautiful and how delicious these cookies are. Now, as many of you know, I am on a weight loss journey, and no, I'm not going to be eating these cookies. Whenever I make any kind of a sweet recipe from now on, I have to know kind of in advance where that recipe is going to go. I have to have a home for that sweet recipe. So I do have a wonderful home for these cookies. We are leaving pretty soon to go and see our son and daughter-in-law and our new grandbaby, baby Caleb, and our little precious Micah, little 2-year-old brother, big brother Micah. So we'll be going down there, and you can imagine where these cookies are going. If I can get my son to taste one for you, I'll get a taste test from him, and he'll tell you the truth. He will. I think he's had these cookies before. I'm not sure if he's had these cookies before, so I don't know. But Lou's dieting too, so I can't even get him to taste them for me. But I know they're good. I know they're good because they have been baked before in this kitchen. So let me go ahead and get them all down here on the sheet. I'm going to use a cookie scoop. This is probably not the smallest, maybe the second one. I don't know. I wish they would mark on here what the numbers are, because I have like 3 or 4 of them, and they're all different sizes, but I don't know what size this is. If you can kind of judge from just seeing it, maybe that would help you. I don't know. Just a cookie scoop. Just ask for a cookie scoop if you don't have one. I just took the cookies out of a 350 oven. I set them for 12 minutes, which is perfect for my oven. And now I have them sitting out on a rack, and I'm just gonna let them stay on the cookie sheet. Don't take them off right away because they'll just disintegrate. Let them, you know, kind of group together as they cool down so they stay nice and firm. I'm gonna let them sit on the cookie sheet a good 5 to 10 minutes, and then they'll be ready to eat. Would you like to have one? Okay, if you are wondering why I use the chocolate chunks, and I get them at Aldi, over chocolate chips in my chocolate chip cookies, let me show you why I use chocolate chunks. I just pulled out a bunch of cookies, I turned them upside down. Look at that. That's the bottom of the cookie. You know, it's just a beautiful thing. If your cookie gets turned over, you know, and flipped over, and look at that. They're just stunning. I think they're just so pretty on the top and on the bottom. They're just gorgeous. The chocolate chunk just kind of goes, boy, that's good. Just goes all through the cookie, and then on the top too. You have them, this is the top of the cookie. They're just absolutely beautiful. Aren't they gorgeous? They are so beautiful. Let me just take one here. Here is one. Oh, I picked a good one. This has a great deal of chocolate on the top and through the bottom, and let's just break it open just like this. They're nice and soft and gooey in the middle, but firm on the outside. They're not going to fall apart on you. You can, you know, take them places easily like I'm going to do. Look at this cookie. Oh, it's just incredible. I know it's going out of focus there for you. Maybe that's a little bit better. But yeah, I could eat that, but look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I think a chocolate chip cookie is a beautiful thing. I really do. I think they're great. They make wonderful gifts because everybody loves chocolate chip cookies. Try the nutmeg. Try that 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg because, well, just because it's so good. It makes that whole cookie, just one cookie, an experience. Just tasting one cookie with that nutmeg in it. You won't taste nutmeg. No one will ever guess that you put nutmeg in here. They'll never say, oh, I taste nutmeg. But what they will say is, these are the best chocolate chip cookies I have ever tasted. They are truly spectacular. Okay, I'm gonna pack them up now. I will tell you, Lou did eat one. Yes, he did. I even broke it in half, and I said, would you just try just a little, just a half? And he even asked for the other half. So that's either because, yes, they were really good, or because, yes, he hadn't had sugar in so long. I don't know. But let's go with the really, really good, because I think that's, I know that to be true. So yes, these are the Bird in Hand Amish Bakery chocolate chip cookies with the secret ingredients. So don't forget to give them a try. Your family will love them. And they don't spread. That's what's so wonderful about it. Make sure you put it in the refrigerator for at least 30 minutes, then scoop them out. And sometimes what I do, and I forgot to tell you this, when I scoop them out, instead of just putting right on the mat or on the baking sheet, I roll them like a ball, like you would a peanut butter cookie, and then I flatten them just a little, because you don't want to flatten them a whole bunch. I put them on the cookie sheet, and I take a little bit of my, I think I put it away now, of my crystallized sugar, you know, that pretty decorative sugar, and I put that on there, and that makes any cookie look good. But this way, just like this, look at this beautiful basket of Amish Bird in Hand cookies. Aren't they gorgeous? They're just so good. They're so beautiful. You will enjoy putting these in your cookie jar in your kitchen. I guarantee they won't last very long. All right, well, I will see you guys soon. All right, thanks for stopping by. I had a wonderful time being with you in the kitchen today. I hope you'll come back. Please press that subscribe button. Press the like button if you enjoyed being with me in the kitchen today and you enjoyed seeing a nice new recipe. Just go ahead and press both those buttons. I would really love it so much if you would do that. It really helps a small channel like mine to grow and grow and grow, and that's what I'm hoping we can do together as a team here at Super at 60. All right, bye now, and Lord bless.